As a consistent staple across all versions of D&D, the wizard is arguably the most popular of them all. But just because it's the most popular does not mean it is safe from changes. So sit down and get ready to write out your comments as I take you through the wizard changes for the 2024 edition. Firstly, I want to start off by saying that everything in this video is formulated utilizing the post on D&D Beyond regarding the wizard, so information may change in the future or just flat out might be missing. With that being said, there's no reason to doom and gloom or praise the sun, because at this point it's nothing more than a teaser. But with that disclaimer out of the way, let's jump into the changes, which start off right at level 1 with the spellcasting feature. Spellcasting traditionally is just your spellcasting with a couple of different details in there, and it's actually changed quite a bit. Firstly, your number of prepared spells that you can prepare per day is a static number as determined on the wizard class table, rather than being determined by your intelligence modifier. Personally, I'm kind of a fan of this change because as it stands right now, I feel like I need a trigonometry degree to fully understand the wizard spellcasting rules. But while I might feel like the simplification of the rules is a good thing overall, I can definitely understand why some players might not like this change. That being said, the wizard class table has yet to be released, so you might want to hold off on that angry tweet until we see it. Next, the optional cantrip formula from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything has just been made default rules. This just allows you to change one cantrip over a long rest for nothing. This is a really nice quality of life change to the wizard because it makes it so you're not restricted to those cantrip choices you made all those levels ago. Aside from that, there are some minor changes to the spellbook as well as ritual casting being its own standalone feature, but that's pretty much spellcasting. Moving on up, we go to level 2 where you usually got your subclasses. Those actually got pushed out to level 3 and they are now replaced with a feature called Scholar. You effectively gain expertise in one of your wizard skills. Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, or Religion. At level 3, you get your subclass, and that's where the majority of the wizard changes come into play. But before we cover that, let's just cover the rest of the core wizard changes. At level 5, you get a new feature called Memorize Spell, which allows you to change a single spell in your prepared list over the course of a short rest. While it isn't necessarily overtly powerful in the traditional sense, it is another quality of life change to the wizard, which allows you more versatility in your daily spell preparation. Fuck it, that's staying in. Aside from that, there are some minor changes to the level 18 feature with Spell Mastery, as well as the level 19 feature Boons, which seems to be a big focus for the 2024 edition. And that's pretty much the core wizard changes, but let's talk about these subclasses now, because this is where wizard goes crazy. As of now, there are 4 wizard subclasses that were named in this post. The Abjurer, the Diviner, the Illusionist, and the Evoker. I'll quickly just mention the Diviner, or previously known as the School of Divination, because it didn't receive all too many changes, at least in comparison to the other ones. In fact, the only actual change to it was the Third Eye feature, which granted you one of 4 different sight-based benefits. It was slightly improved so that your dark vision granted by the feature was double up to 120 feet, and rather than seeing into the ethereal plane, you can just see invisibility as a free cast. Aside from that, there's really not too much to the Diviner Wizard changes. But all the other 3 subclasses had some pretty significant changes. Starting off, we have the previous School of Abjuration, the Abjurer Wizard. The Arcane Ward feature had its language specified a little bit better so it's easier to understand, as well as the ability to refill that ward by effectively just feeding it a spell slot. And you can do that by just simply using your bonus action. Previously, you had to cast abjuration spells to create your ward, but with this change, your choice is no longer limited and you can do it as a bonus action. This alone is a huge quality of life improvement for the Abjurer Wizard. But the biggest change, which is guaranteed to get a lot of talk online, is the new 10th level feature called Spellbreaker. This feature grants you 3 crazy benefits. Firstly, you always have Counterspell and Dispel Magic prepared. This alone is already incredibly powerful because it frees up 2 whole spell slots in your spellbook for your prepared spells. But it's even better than you think it is because when you cast Dispel Magic, you can just cast it as a bonus action. Yeah, you heard that right, you can cast Dispel Magic as a bonus action. Personally, I always felt like Dispel Magic was a necessary spell that every wizard needed, but no wizard wanted because it wasn't fun to cast. But this change makes the decision so much easier because it's only requiring a bonus action and leaves your action free to do other cool stuff. But the final and arguably the most broken part of this level 10 feature is that when you cast Counterspell or Dispel Magic and they fail, they don't consume a spell slot. And that's pretty powerful. There is some definite game-breaking potential there. That being said, I am incredibly curious about the community's thoughts on this level 10 feature. I'll save my personal thoughts until the end, but make sure you leave a comment and let me know, because I'd love to hear it. But now, let's move on to the previous school of evocation with the Evoker Wizard. The potent cantrips and sculpt spell features have swapped places, putting potent cantrips at the 3rd level position and sculpt spells at the 6th level position. Not only that, but potent cantrip also packs a little bit more of a punch. Previously, it ensured that your cantrips that require saving throws automatically deal half damage even if a target succeeds. But with this new change, it does the same exact thing for missed spell attacks as well. So even if your firebolt misses, it still kind of technically hits. While it might initially sound unimpactful, this is a huge quality of life buff for the wizard who 95% of the time prefer to take firebolt as opposed to other cantrips. And not only that, but the Sculpt spell feature being unlocked at level 6 is now the perfect time because that's when you're going to get the large AoE abilities like Fireball, and trust me, that's not a coincidence. And now we'll go over the last subclass that they've covered in this post with the Illusionist Wizard, or the previous school of illusion. Firstly, the old improved minor illusion feature has been replaced with the all-new improved illusion. This feature allows you to ignore verbal components for your illusion spells and doubles the range of them, making your illusion spells that much more versatile. At level 6, they removed the, honestly, incredibly underwhelming Malleable Illusions feature and replaced it with a new feature called Phantasmal Creatures. This grants you summon beasts and summon fae as always prepared spells. And that might sound pretty powerful, and that's, trust me, because it is, but there's more to it than just that. Mainly, you get a free cast of both spells per long rest. That is 2 free spells, one being 2nd level and one being 3rd level. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than that's bananas. The summon creatures are slightly modified compared to the original spells, but frankly, considering the fact that they're 2 free leveled spells you get, I'd say that's well worth the cost. And it is worth mentioning that these creatures that you summon are technically illusion-based spells, so there's that. And lastly, we've got a fantastic new upgrade for the level 10 feature, Illusory Self. Previously, once per long rest, you could use your reaction when you were the target of an attack and just make that attack miss. Now, instead of waiting for a long rest to restore that feature, you can expend a 2nd level spell slot to immediately restore it. And you can do that with no action requirement. While it is costly to recharge, you effectively have an at-will illusory duplicate ready to take any hit for you should you need it. And that is absolutely bananas. But those are the changes to these subclasses. Pretty much all of the base class features are just straight quality of life buffs over their 2014 version counterpart. But these subclasses all have some crazy unique and powerful updates. As a DM, I am personally terrified at the thought of having an illusionist or an abjuration wizard in my game, but that's my take on the whole thing. What do you think? I'll probably make videos like this for all of the other classes, but honestly, I'm personally really excited to see the druid and the monk changes. But that's pretty much all I got for today, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you want to see more D&D content. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Friday.